You're listening to the Rocking Motherhood Show on Little Rockers Radio. Today we're talking to a children's teacher turned author who has penned a book of her own called Enid and Her Two Mums. Her name is Jessica Skogstad, and she's joining us today to have a chat to us about the book and where the inspiration for the book came from. Hi Jess, how are you?
I'm great, thanks Sarah. How are you?
I'm really well, thanks, Jess. Now, I received the book in the mail from you last week and I've had a good read through. Tell us a little bit about Enid and Her Two Mums.
So it's about a young girl named Enid, and she's just walking to school and notices the families around her and just looks at the structure of each family and notices that a lot of the kids have a mum and a dad. And this gets her thinking because she's got two mums and she wonders why her family seems to be a bit different to the others. And she just goes on a journey along the way, and then she notices that there's kids that have single parents, and there's all different sorts of family structures. And then she notices that there's a boy with two dads and how happy they seem. And it just makes her realise that it doesn't matter what your family looks like. The most important thing is that you've got a family that loves you.
That's so true, isn't it? I mean, the traditional family is no longer a mum and dad and 2 whatever it is children. They come in all different shapes and sizes, and there is no normal really anymore. What made you decide to put pen to paper to write this book?
The main obvious inspiration for it is my niece. She's got two mums. And it sort of started one time when I ordered one of those books where you type in the kid's name and it puts them into the story.
Yep.
Yeah. And it got sent back to me, and it was all about Cora and her dad going to the farm. And so I couldn't give it to her. I had to pop that one in a bin. But I had just assumed that every child that orders this book would have a dad. And where Cora has two mums. So that sort of got the ball rolling, just got me thinking that kind of sucks and everything. And after becoming a mother myself, I've been reading to my son every night, and it's just a really special time. And I just thought, I'd love to have a book out and, something that my son can see that I've created, and we can read. And then it all just fell into place after all that. I just thought, I'll write a book for Cora and for my son Clark.
Yeah, and it's not just based on your niece's circumstances, is it? I mean, as I was reading through the book, it has two dad families, it has single parent families, it has mum and dad families. So it really touches on a lot of the different types of family setups that children can come from. And one of the things that I was thinking about afterwards, after reading the book, is that literature and movies haven't really caught up, have they? I mean, most of the books that we read, a lot of the movies that we watch do still have the mum, the dad, or maybe the single mum or the single dad, but the more traditional type of setting of either a mum and a dad and two children or a single parent and two children, they haven't really caught up to all of the different type of family setups that are out there.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It seems like sort of in TV shows or movies, if there is a same-sex couple as a parent, that seems to be what the whole movie is based around, whereas it would be nice to see it sort of thrown in and see that it's not actually an issue. It doesn't need to be the centre of attention because it should be so normal.
Yeah, and what does your niece think about you having written a book with her in mind?
She's rapt. She's 4 years old, and she points to Enid and says, "That's me."
Oh, bless. And what age group would you say the book is written for? I mean, it's got I would say it's for quite young children. It's got a really beautiful rhyming element to it. What age group is it perfect for?
Well, in terms of having it read to them, I read it to my 1-year-old son and my 4-year-old niece, so that's pretty young. But to actually have like the child reading it themselves, I would say, primary school from, prep up to grade 4 would be good to sort of get them trying to read it themselves, because there are a couple of tricky words, but generally it's a pretty basic and simple story.
Okay. And if people are interested in purchasing the book for their family or friends, where can they get their hands on it?
So it's available on like Amazon, the Book Depository, and Barnes and Noble. But I also sell it on my website as well, so people can buy it signed. And that's www.enidandher2mums.com with the number 2 for 2. And I sell it with free shipping as well. And yeah.
Fabulous. And people can also get their hands on a copy from Ali's books, which is www.alysbooks.com, who is the publisher of the book and helped you to get it off the ground. All of the links are also on our website at www.littlerockersradio.com.au. Thanks for writing such a great book, Jess, and for joining us today on Little Rockers Radio.
Thanks for having me.
That was Jessica, author of Enid and Her Two Mums on Little Rockers Radio. Thanks for listening.